Hey YouTube, a bass! A bass? Yeah, totally. I'm actually going to, how do I do this again? There. Yes. I need to drop my tuner situation. So, this is not a Thunderbird. It's a Blackbird. So this, I don't know, does it have a year on it? 09? Yeah, probably 2009, sounds about right. So in the Epiphone catalogue, I remember from about that era, you get the Thunderbird bass and then you get the Nicki sixx Blackbird bass, which is basically the same apart from it's got fancy cross inlays on it. I've just modified this. It basically had an on-off switch. That's it. So now instead of having an on-off, which was just basically both the pickups on full whack, now I've got a three-way switch which gives you neck pickup on full whack with no tone control, both the pickups on full whack with no tone control, and the bridge pickup on full whack with no tone control or volume control. So it's kind of weird. It's got its thing. Also, it's got this on it. Well, it looks like someone's just found it in the kitchen and stuck it on. See there? You can actually see that. Yeah, it's got like a handle, which apparently is just for. Oh, is it meant to? Is it? There's a screw missing from it, so I can't fully utilise it. Apparently, it's just for flinging it about or someone to angle your finger or something. I don't know. Try and use it. So basically, just a bog standard Epiphone bass. What did I notice when I was tuning it up? The same as my which guitars? I used to have a Hondo 12 string that did this, and also my Vox White Shadow, which is a not entirely dissimilar headstock. When you're turning this tuner, that's close to. I could only just get my finger between the tuner. If that tuner in tune had been like that, I wouldn't be able to get my finger between there and there. So it's a little bit bangy or fingery off this wee pointy uppy bit when you're tuning it. Just get used to it. And it was a bass. You don't need to be tuning the bass. It's also neck dives like a Thunderbird does. So I think the trick is to have the strap as low as it goes and you have it at your knees. This is just a normal strap, it doesn't go super long. So no volume, no tone, but bass video, so that's why I had to mute it there. So now we've got a bass neck pickup just with the tone up full because there is no tone. It's loud enough. Both pickups on. So this is the sound basically that it has when you get it stock. Bridge pickup. So if I want to use the tone control, I have to use the one on the amp. One of them work. I've not touched any of the tone controls in this amp for ages. What have we got? Gain, bass, you know what it is. Treble, turn the treble down. Oomph. Ah, here you go, it's that tone. Who knew? The tone control on your amp's kind of quite similar to the tone control on the actual bass. That has just reduced the tone on the drum track, which I'm about to click on though. It's quite muffled. Same thing again, the wall rattles when I've got the bass up too loud and because I can't turn it down. Turn it down a wee bit maybe, so it doesn't make the wall rattle. So I will now run through my entire repertoire of Motley Crue songs. This is a Nicki sixx from Motley Crue bass. Did you enjoy it? Yeah. already doing the foot on the monitor thing, just so I don't have to hold up the neck on this thing. Doing that means I don't actually have to physically hold it up when I'm playing and I can move about. So, to be totally honest, I would rather have a volume and a tone control. Or is it, I think a Thunderbird normally has three. It's normally got 2 volumes and a tone, doesn't it? To mix between them. I would rather have a volume control. And to be honest, if I was running it, I would probably... I do understand the... You obviously don't want to chop it up, because if you put normal controls in it, because it's no longer the Nicki sixx Blackbird, is it? Sort of... I don't know. I've always been a fan of the look of the Thunderbird basses, but I don't like them. They're very big. You need a specially big gig bag for them. They don't fit in a normal bass gig bag. You need to have a specially big one, because, you know, your 34-inch scale is the same as usual, but this one, on a normal bass, a P bass, whatever, the bridge is right against the back of the body. This has an extra 6 inches to get to here from the bridge, like that. It's an extra 6 inches, and the headstock is flipping huge as well, so you've got an extra bit on there and an extra bit here. It's a long bass. It's also got the Matsumoto used to have 3-point bridge. You can't see because it's black on black. Yeah, no, they've got their... They do look cool. I mean, I remember my pal G had one years ago when System of a Down, the guy in System of a Down plays one. And looks, the Gibson basses are a bit funny though, aren't they? It's like, they've got this. Really, I don't even know what's in the Epiphone catalogue these days, but for a long time, the Epiphone basses consisted of the EBO, possibly the EB3, the SG basses, and the Thunderbird. And I think there might be other ones that they kind of had for a couple of years, but I think standard in the line is really just those 3, really. I have seen them. There's one called a Victory bass. They've got a couple of basses that are just like, what the fuck are you making that for? Again, I'm just got a problem with basses in general. I like a P bass. I actually quite enjoyed that airline bass I was playing earlier. I quite liked it, even though it was short scale. I like it. I just like a P bass. Doesn't have to be a... Okay, it's not technically exactly a P bass, but it's a P bass. You know, okay, it's got a slightly different scoop and it's got binding, but and the pickup's actually the wrong way around on that as well. But I do like the P bass pickups. Yeah, so I mean, I think for a Motley Crue fan, they're great. I mean, I love the idea when you're putting out like a signature guitar, you don't put out, I don't know how much a Gibson Thunderbird, a Gibson one costs a couple of grand, something like that. Why? It's been the one. It's not that I'm slagging off Motley Crue for being not super good. It's not a bass player I've seen a lot of playing a lot. Something like Flea. I don't really like the Chili Peppers, but I can appreciate it's got the bass in it. Oh, you can listen to the bass playing if you don't like the rest of it, sort of thing. Motley Crue do that. There must be bass in it, but I don't think there's. Obviously, Nicki sixx fans, comment, tell me which songs. Maybe they do. I've going on. I remember buying one at 2 masks in the front. Was it called Theatre of Power or Theatre of Pain or something like that? And putting it on, and going, trying the next song, turning it over, putting a song around the other side, and going, nah. And that's the last time. That's all Motley Crue I've ever listened to. Probably about in total 4 minutes. Although did they do that? Girls, 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 do the stripper song? I know it, I suppose. Oh, did Dr. Feelgood, is that them as well? Feel good. I never really get into the hair metal thing, don't really understand it. Actually, I was actually quite offensive to someone earlier on the basses I'd like to pluck page. I didn't really mean it. Go like that, I was mad into Slades, and then Slade never came to America or something. So I got the next best thing, which was Kiss, and then I got really into Kiss, and it was like a picture of Gene Simmons, and it was like, my comment was, yeah, Slade. So Slade have Jim Lee, who's a fucking amazing bass player. You maybe don't necessarily notice the bass all the time, But if you actually put any Slade song and you go like, up here, what does the bass do? And you listen to the bass, it's fucking amazing and all. He's a really underrated bass player, absolutely fantastic. So I was like, up here, yeah. So Slade had Jim Lee, pure amazing bass player, and Kiss had Gene Simmons instead. And I think my comment was, so I've loved Kiss forever, and it's like, I'm sorry, I don't like Gene Simmons. My comment was, it's like, see when he was, I saw him at Download last year, pretty good show, didn't stay for the whole thing, but stayed for half of it, enjoyed it, it was good. But Gene Simmons plays the bass like someone who's played the bass for 45 minutes, not for 45 years. Some of the songs, especially I Was Made for Loving You, the bass was like, and I suppose it's a skill to be able to have played the bass on stage for 40 years or whatever it is and never really learned to actually be good at it. Must be quite difficult to do. My like for Gene Simmons went away completely when I watched a program. It wasn't called School of Rock, but it was something like that, a BBC program where it was like him, rock star, had come into some really fancy private boarding school down South England and to make a band, and he was talking about that. Yeah, it's not important that you learn to play your instrument. Yeah, it is. Was my view on it. It's like, yeah, you don't have to be good. You don't have to spend time learning doing that. It's all about attitude and show, and it's like, no, it's not. You've got to be good as well, or you don't have to be particularly dexterous or playing really complicated shit. You don't. I mean, look at someone like Cliff Williams and AC/DC. They're technically not really good, but a fucking amazing bass player. Really good at going. That kind of crap, great. Not got the sounds I don't for tone control. More bassy. All that crap. Love it. Gene Simmons just not a very good bass player. And his bass solo, I even saw it live. Download, it's like Breathing Fire. Like that, and it's like technically not a bass solo. It's a, you know what a bass is? Ah, not really. No. It's like, here, have a shot of this. I just hit it. You know, someone who's never played that or never played the guitar. That no. So sorry. I apologise to basses I'd like to pluck page for that. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like Thunderbird basses. When I say I don't like it, you're having a jam, do a shot. I mean, it sounds great. If it's your thing, it's your thing. Scott said at one point that it's like a door with a neck on it, and it's like as soon as he said that, it's like, yeah, it's totally like a door with a neck on it. The neck dive thing, I find very difficult. Which again might not make any difference if you've got the bass hanging down at your knees, which I think Nicki Sixx might do. I honestly don't even know what Nicki Sixx looks like. Who was I thinking of there? That was thinking I had a picture in my head of him, and I'm thinking of Pete Way from UFO, because he plays one of these. It's not him, it's another guy. I don't even know what Nicki Sixx looks like. Yeah, so I can't be slagging him off because I don't know what it looks like. But I can slag him off for not having any knobs on his bass, just having an off switch. Mind you, they're not quite topical just now. Do they not have problems with their guitarist, who's fucking really old? Because he was like 40 or something. He was my age when in the 80s when they started the band. Yeah. So I'm struggling without having the tone control. Never used to use the tone control, but now you take it away, it's like, can't do that. But I mean, if you're using pedals and you've got a floor unit with a volume pedal, sorted. You know what I mean? I suppose you could. Why don't you just have You could have like a floor unit, you know, you get one that's got a wah and a volume, you could have a volume and assign the wah to the tone pot, so you've got the tone and then it's all done, which makes sense. If you're out hanging over the crowd and stuff, you don't want folk being able to twiddle with the knobs in your bass. I know that's what happened to Steve Harris. His P-bass, or certainly for a time, the knobs were disconnected so that he couldn't be up at the front going, and someone goes up and goes, turns you off. It's like, which I would never do. I was tempted to do it. I've actually played what's his faces. He was actually Kip Winger. Let's see, Winger, and Kip Winger's like, up here, yeah, it's here. So he was like, hold that, he's up here, playing the bass. He was kind of doing the fingering bit, and it was just going up, dung dung dung, and he's like up here, playing it. But I think, to be honest, he was kind of holding it in such a way that you couldn't get at the knobs to actually just go up and go turn it down, because obviously some drunk arsehole is going to do that. I wouldn't have. What did I think? One more thing. Really 15 minutes. Normally these are 20 minutes long. That House of Rock, School of Rock, Rock School, whatever it was, thing that Gene Simmons was on. I think it was me and my pal G watched it. It was maybe 6 episodes or something like that. And one of the episodes, it was like, yeah, we're going to bring in one of my friends next week for the class. It's like my friend Tony Iommi, he was a guitarist in Black Sabbath, and all the kids are like, pure, what? You know what I mean? And then, so the following, 10 minutes later, in comes Tony Iommi's up here, and all the kids come out like that, and they've all got their fucking dad's albums. Like, my God, Tony Iommi, what? Black Sabbath, whoa. And you can see Tony kind of going, oh, fuck him. It's really quite embarrassing, because obviously, did they do that with Kiss? Did they fuck? Who's Gene Simmons? Oh, Kiss, that's the band with the clown makeup, aye. Not Tony Iommi, the god of metal, no. And they're kind of asking questions and stuff, and Tony's just kind of like trying to be nice. But he's really doing well. Up here, so do you think Kiss are better than Black Sabbath? And Tony's like, up here, yeah, well, they sold a lot of records. They in the 80s they did lots of #1 albums and stuff, and it's like, yeah, we try to be so nice. You can see Gene Simmons going like, what the fuck? How are these people? Where's the respect for me that Tony Iommi's got just for turning up? And it's like, obviously you can imagine if the kids are going home telling us, Gene Simmons, alright, cool, the guy from Kiss, that's cool. It's like, yeah, next week it's got Tony Iommi come in, and they're like, Tony Iommi? Looking out the vinyl and all that, and so they're all coming in with it, cassettes and shit like that, wearing t-shirts, and it's like, because maybe it's an American thing, or maybe it was in England, so maybe it's a British thing that Black Sabbath means a fuckload loads more than Kiss. Kiss aren't even worthy to be on the same bill, sort of thing. Again, sorry, I was trying to apologise for being nasty about Kiss. I do like Paul Stanley, and they were good fun to watch live, and they're fun. I mean, they're yucking parties, and I remember playing Kiss songs in the first big band I was in, and even though I didn't know any of them, it was good because you could play along with them really easily on the bass, so the guitarist would play the riffs to shout it out loud, and Detroit Rock City and stuff, and I'd be like, and I could play them pretty much first off without ever even heard the song, straight up. For that, quite a lot of fun. Party songs, have a bit of a jam, Yeah, but no, not Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath being my favourite. Motley Crue not being my favourite. But I mean, well built, plays well. It's a bolt on neck to say that. Very much fine. The neck heavy thing, I can handle slightly neck heavy. So the thing is, to see with an Explorer, it's a bit pointy here, so you can rest your arm on that bit, which holds it level. This one you have to kind of push down on that bit to hold it level. So if you're, if you want to do something with your left hand, you have to push down. It's not a case of just resting your arm on it. You've got to push that down to get it to hold level. And I'm a wee bit conscious about pulling the strap off doing this, and then, as you have to do while you're playing. So that'd be no good for Saxon. In fact, what is it? It's not Oliver Dawson. Oliver or Dawson, I can't remember. One of the guys in Saxon. Did he play it? I think he might have played one of these. He can't have, though, because he used to write songs. Talk about an impressive thing, or to impress me. He used to write songs so that the best bit of the chorus was on open strings. So you could be going, I. So he could punch the air with his other hand while he was playing this hand, which is, I'm kind of struggling because of the neck heaviness. Like, subscribe, share, talk shit, and tell me that I was wrong about Kiss. They're actually really, really good, and Gene Simmons is an amazing bass player. I've only been funny. Someone said if I put on a Kiss album, I'm not pure. No, fuck off. I don't care. If he said I'm going to put another Kiss album on after that last one, I'd be like, oh, another one. But one album, I can take one album, which is more than I can take from a lot of people. Yngwie Malmsteen. I don't think I could do a whole Yngwie Malmsteen album. I could do one song, any one of the songs, no bother, and really enjoy it. Second song, try and choose one that sounds as different as possible from it. Yeah, I still got on with it. Third song, kind of getting bored now. Fourth song, I'm out. There's a few bands like that I can handle one song. Doesn't really matter which one it is, but I get a bit fed up with them.